guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for clicking on this video. This channel is a family-based channel. We do all different kinds of things, so there's no telling what the next video will be. Talk about law enforcement. I'm a K-9 officer. We build things with the kids, try to teach our kids learning skills. We just do all different kinds of things. So once again, I want to thank you for clicking on this video. And today, as I said, I was in law enforcement. I got invited to go talk on a podcast, which I didn't know anything about a podcast, so I accepted it just to go try it out and see what it was all about. As many of you know, I told you earlier I'm in law enforcement. Brian's also in law enforcement. I've worked with him for 4 or 5 years. He's actually now retired. He's a retired state trooper. So during this podcast, we talked about things that we encountered while on duty. We went in depth in a lot of things that, we had encountered. A lot of people don't realize what actually law enforcement does. We do more than just stop cars and take people to jail. I really wish people would understand that that's not our only job. We respond to crashes. We respond to mental health calls. Anywhere from if you're having a bad day or if you're suicidal. We respond to signal 30s, which are deaths. Anywhere from a murder to suicide or an unattended death. So there's a lot more that law enforcement does other than just stop cars and take people to jail. So in this podcast, that's what we're talking about. So if you like listening to law enforcement stuff, I think you'll really enjoy this video. I'm going to play a little bit of it here on my channel. I encourage you to go over to Smokey Uncuffed and watch the rest of it. I'm going to leave a link right up here so you can go over there and finish the actual podcast. A lot of the things we're talking about is stuff that I encountered at the beginning of my career, in which he's a retired state trooper. So there's just all kinds of stuff. So I encourage you to go over there and check that out. Once again, I'm going to put another link up here, Smokey Uncuffed. Go over there, check it out. If you like to listen about law enforcement stuff, he has a lot of officers and troopers actually join his podcast, and I mean, they talk about everything. So I'm going to play a small clip of it. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so we'll change gears here just a little bit. So I worked with you for about, 5 years, 4 or 5 years before I retired. So for probably about 2 of those years, I knew you also did woodworking. We're making American flags, and so about 2 years, I was pushing to get on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. It took me almost 2 years to, actually download it. I downloaded it and played with it for a little bit, and then I was just like, I can't talk in front of a camera. And, then I continued watching your videos along with others.
Daniel's, I talk about Arms Family Homestead on here a lot.
Basically watch y'all's videos and, listen to all y'all's stories. So one night I was in the shop, so I thought I'd, try. So I made a little video on how to put stars. I put my stars on the flag. And I never forget this night. I was sitting at this particular night, I was sitting at the ER in Ada. I was sick, and I actually downloaded that video from my phone in the ER that night. So after that, I just kind of left it alone and continued. I just listen and watch y'all's, and next thing I know, I look at it and there's like 6,000 views, and I'm like, holy cow, I can do this. Right. So that's when I started buying. I started out with a little cheaper camera and made a few videos, and I just kind of got the YouTube fever, and it kind of went up from there.
Yeah, I'd say it went up from there. I've been doing it for about, year and a half now, maybe getting close to 2 years. And you've been monetized since January, and I'm going to guess within the next 2 months you pass me on subscriptions. But you're making videos every day, every other day.
Yeah, I try to put out 2 or 3 videos a day, which,
a day?
Or, scratch that. I try to put out 2 or 3 videos a week. Sometimes I only get 2, but I try to. But, starting off a channel, if you don't know anybody, it's going to be really, really hard.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for you and Daniel and Dutch, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, just because, I did an interview with you here at you made my wooden flag. And then I did I presented Dutch and Daniel with the flag. Well, at the time, both of those guys had 200,000 subscribers.
Right.
So
that's gold right there.
Yeah, I mean, that was basically gold, because I didn't have to look to see when they posted, because my YouTube channel went crazy as soon as one of them posted. I mean, I was hitting subscribers. It was unreal.
It had stopped.
No, it hasn't. It really hasn't. You know, it slowed down just a little bit, but then I started making some videos. Right now, I mean, knock on wood, I hope it stays. We're getting anywhere from 30 to 50 subscribers a day. So hopefully it keeps going. In particular, you know, I get them from other videos, but I got one video out there that's going pretty good. It's up to, I think, about 60 to 70,000 views now, and a lot of the subscribers are coming from that.
What's the name of your channel?
Our channel is Rustic Woodwork and Family. When we first started, it was just Rustic Woodwork, but there's just so much you can do in the shop, you know.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, so much you can do in the shop. And, you know, one of the videos, the kids was in it, and then, you know, obviously talking to you and Daniel, you know, about, you know, everybody loved dogs. So I talked about the dogs and on one video, and from there, the audience just wanted to see more. So now, you know, that changed it up. You know, it was just Rustic Woodwork. I wanted to change the whole channel, but decided to change it to Rustic Woodwork and Family because we had our family in a lot
I
of the videos.
remember talking about it, yeah.
And then also law enforcement. They talk a lot about law enforcement on the channel, as well as you know, dog training and just a little bit of everything.
And where I think it makes yours interesting, where I couldn't get away with it on any of my stuff when I was working for the patrol, about Oklahoma Highway Patrol. They had policy against talking about anything, the way, any workings of our organization, any way that we do things, just simply because they want to protect, I guess, all the trade secrets, which to me aren't trade secrets. You can watch live PD and pick up on what we do.
Correct. And, you know, I can see where they're going with that, but in another hand, you know, showing the public what we do and what we go through, I think that, you know, helps them understand some of the stuff. Now, there's some people out there, I don't care if you're right or wrong. I mean, they're going to hate the cops. They can care less for you. And obviously for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been getting a lot of hate mail, but that's just part of it. It don't matter if you showed up at their house to save their child, that you've done something wrong during that. Just people like that.
Yeah, and basically my point to that is you actually put stuff about law enforcement on your channel. You talk about your drug dogs. You talk about going to work each day and some of the other stuff you do. And it just ties into your channel, and it's really up your views,
Yes.
other than just doing the woodworking.
Yes, it definitely has. You know, I also talk a lot, like I said earlier, you know, I've got a brother that's is fighting the addiction of drugs. You know, I've arrested a lot of people here where I work. And, you know, if I can try to help them get in some kind of rehab and try to, you know, change their life, you know, that's what I'm looking for. I've had a lot of people, unfortunately, come to my house and thank me, and, you know, that's the reason why I got cameras now. But, you know, that when somebody...
Which they probably had good intent,
yes,
but
yes.
you never know.
Yes, they had good intent, and, you know, something like that is one of those thank yous is worth, you know, 100 bad comments, you know.
Right.
There's one particular girl now. She is actually clean. She's been clean for 3 years, and she's got a job. She got her child back, and when I see her in public, because she's from this area, it just really makes me feel good, because if I wouldn't have took her to jail that night, her life would still be going down that road. That's what she told me.
Well, I'm going to steal from my last podcast something Craig Lindley said: the power of one. That's the power of one person changing a life, right there.
And there's a lot of things, you know, I try to help a lot of people, but you got to realize a lot of these guys are in jail. They're con artists. You know, they're gonna try to do whatever they can to get out of jail. And unfortunately, you know, we get more of them that try that method, and it kind of messes up for the people that really try.
Well, I mean, you really can't help them until they want help.
Correct.
That they're at that point where they need the help, and if they can't find it, you can point them in the right direction. But until they want it, it's not going to do you any good. I mean, because they're just going to keep going down whatever path they want to go down.
Yeah, that's like my brother. He's been on this for about 8-9 years, ever since my mom passed away. You know,
It's a coping mechanism.
yes. And I've talked to him, and he says, you know, it just makes all the pain go away. And I understand that, but you know, that it's obviously he's lost everything. He had everything. He had a wife. He had 2 kids, a nice double wide trailer, 40 acres, white pipe fence around it, and he lost all that, I'd say, within 6 months.
Only in Oklahoma will you hear nice double wide trailer.
yeah, for sure. All right, guys, thank y'all so much for watching that. Please go over to Smokey Uncuffed to finish watching the rest of the podcast. It really goes in depth about some of the things that we talked about here at the beginning. So I encourage you, once again, go over to Smokey Uncuffed and check that out. Here's that link. If you enjoy talking about law enforcement stuff, go subscribe to his channel. He invites a lot of officers over on his podcast. If you're an officer and you would like to join his show, reach out to him. I bet you he'd love to have you on his show. So thank each and every one of y'all for watching this video. If you have not yet, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Check that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our latest videos. Thank you, and God bless you.